Hello, this is Kenneth Wong, Senior Editor for DE. Glad to have you along for another episode of Video News Roundup. This week we have a scoop for you, not just in a manner of speaking, but quite literally a scoop. That's right. In Indy 500, drivers couldn't take the heat. That's the news that emerged after the July races in Indianapolis. How hot did it get? According to reports from Racer.com, it was 90 degrees outside and at least 120 degrees inside everyone's Indy car. One of the issues identified was that the new aeroscreen safety device is trapping heat in the cockpit. The solution is a 3D printed scoop, a device that moves the hot air out of the cockpit. There was only 1 week downtime between the early July race in Indianapolis and the next one, Iowa Indy 250. So the scoops had to be manufactured quickly. According to Stratasys, IndyCar came to them for help. The scoops were 3D printed with UV-resistant ASA materials by the Stratasys Direct Printing division. The entire batch of 24 units needed for the race was made in about 48 hours, with enough time to ship them to the drivers before the next race began. 3D printing cannot help anyone win a race, but it'll help the drivers stay cool in the heat of the race. This month, 2 annual tech conferences go live in the now all-too common virtual format. The first is IoT World. Sam Lucero, Senior Principal Analyst to IoT Services and Technologies at Omdia, said the impact of COVID-19 on IoT is complex, but not all bad. He characterized the nature of the project as more of a delay than derailment. On the bright side, the virus situation demonstrates the value of connected solutions in the new areas. For more, read the show report at DE site or register for IoT World to watch the archived video streams. The second show is SIGGRAPH 2020. It just kicked off this week. Unlike the usual multi-day live event, the virtual event spans across 2 weeks with lots of content going live and then going on demand at different times. The keynote is by Marco Tempest, a director's fellow at the MIT Media Lab and a consultant at the NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory. He is also the founder of Magic Lab. His presentation covers mixed reality storytelling, gesture sensing, and swarm robotics, a glimpse of the promise of augmented reality. There is going to be a robust lineup of technical papers. Here are just a sampling of the few.
By using 4 fisheye monochrome cameras, we can track someone's hands in space, enabling them to sort these blocks and win the game. Using clever hinge design, a flat lattice of thin, flexible strips can be deformed into a complex 3D structure and then flattened back out again. To create a realistic knit bunny, this algorithm uses an energy density function to drive a thin shell simulator. It can also knit armadillos. By interpolating a sparse series of 3D poses, this algorithm produces smooth, complex motion that still allows for artistic control. This algorithm supports immersed bubbles in free surface flow simulators, producing the familiar glugging action of a water cooler. A method for managing the dynamics of nonlinear deformable objects lets us bounce this hairy, elastic toy against a wall.
It looks like the pandemic is going to be with us for some time, so how do we live with it? One way is to implement effective air duct and ventilation systems to minimize airborne contagion. This is from a simulation conducted using Simulation Hub, an on-demand CFD analysis program accessible from the browser, licensed as subscription. It shows how to set up and design airborne infection isolation rooms to study and redirect airflow as needed in hospitals and healthcare facilities. The strategy is part of CDC's recommendations on treating contagious patients while preventing the service providers such as doctors and nurses. For more, you can read the blog by Aditya Ruka from Simulation Hub. This is all the news we have for this week. For more, go to Digital Engineering 24/7. That's digitalengineering247.com. Follow us on Twitter at DE Editor and subscribe to our YouTube channel, DE Streaming. Thanks for watching. I'm Kenneth Wong. Until next time, stay safe, keep innovating.